Too Fast, Too Furious was fire, right? Some people didn't like Tokyo Drift. Some people did, right? Wait,
Yeah, those people hate Asians.
is
All right, that came out a little too strong.
What?
I'm gonna steal the Declaration of Independence.
Boom! Shakalaka turner! You're out on the floor! Ejectocito, cuz! It worked! I love this part! Please! Come on!
Goodbye, Benny.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Millennial Classics with yours truly, Swadik Mayanja Mamburi Makaya. Mamburi, how you doing today?
Doing good.
Very good. On this podcast, we talk about the best and most memorable movies, music, and culture-changing events from our generation. So we've done many movies that are part of a trilogy, that are part of a series, that are part of a franchise. But this is the first time we're double dipping and doing another movie from the same franchise. Mamburi, tell the folks at home, what movie are we doing and why is it a millennial classic?
We're doing Fast Five. It's probably the movie in the franchise, the only one that can go toe to toe with Fast One in terms of how iconic it is, because it kind of changes the franchise. But it's such you just say Fast Five and people get where you come from. People understand it. It has it has an energy to it.
All right, listen up. The men we're after are professional runners. We find them, we take them as a team, and we bring them back. And above all else, we don't ever let them get into cars. Home sweet home.
Fast Five is, I was just telling Mamburi before we started recording, is an entire mood. I mean, Fast Five is fun action as you can ever imagine, right? It's just from start to finish, the craziness, the insanity, the jokes, the quippiness, the sweating, glistening, the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This movie is everything you want in a good time and is goddamn fantastic. Burry, do you remember where you watched it? And what did you remember before the rewatch?
I remember I watched it in theaters for sure.
Yeah.
I remember being so surprised by it. And then I remember that we're going to talk about this later, but one of the most iconic endings in cinematic history. It's like, I think it goes like Casablanca and then Fast Five.
Oh my God.
When we're talking cinematic endings, the Danza Kuduro, we're going to talk about it later.
Yes.
But it goes, it has to, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know me and my hyperbole, but it's always Mamburi starting off every episode with the hottest steak he could possibly take. This is the cinematic ending compared to Casablanca.
Yeah.
Mamburi. I've never seen Casablanca, but I have heard too much about that movie to put Fast Five in the same category. You're insane, Mamburi. You're insane. Okay. So yeah, for me, the first time I ever watched it was probably in theaters. It was probably with Mamburi, but this was by Fast Five, right? It was Fast.
Oh, right. This is junior year, huh?
Yes. Too Fast, Too Furious was fire, right? Some people didn't like Tokyo Drift. Some people did, right? Wait,
yeah, those people hate Asians. All right, that came out a little too strong. All right.
Tokyo Drift is the fast movie that Burry wants to really do. In fact, ladies and gentlemen, this is a little bit behind the scenes. When we wanted to do Too Fast, Too Furious, Burry was pushing for Tokyo Drift. So
yeah, I just think it gets a lot of slander that it doesn't deserve. And maybe I go over the top in defending it. Here's the thing. It has Lil Bow Wow. I mean, that makes it a millennial classic off the jump.
Yeah, of course, because we had like Mike. Of course, we have to have little Tokyo Drift. You're insane. But what I remembered about this movie before the rewatch is easy and it's simple. And it's the one thing you always remember about this movie. That last car chase with the fucking pulling with the two cars with Vin and Paul. I mean, that's the, like, that is Fast Five. It's like action at its highest peak when it comes to a car chase. It's a beautiful, we'll get there when we talk about scenes. I guarantee it. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, why don't you jump on into my time machine? Let's go back all the way back to 2011. When did this movie come out?
2011.
Yes. Right? April. What was the actual date? I want to make sure I have the actual date here. April 29th, 2011. Yes, this was when both Burry and I were juniors in high school. Imagine near that. All right. So things that happened in 2011. Planking. Planking became the hot thing to do. Everyone and their goddamn mother was planking. Sad. Steve Jobs did pass away, which is a horrible thing. And he brought us the iPod, the iPhone, the whole nine. But look at us where we are today. The iPhone 12 Pro just came out, right? So he left a legacy in a way that not many people can. I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one. I mean, do you have an iPhone in your hand right now? Yes or no, Mulberry? Yes or no?
Yes. Fine.
Of course you do. The food pyramid went away, and then it turned into the food plate. That's just a little bit of a nursing fact, fun fact over there. Oprah Winfrey finally said goodbye to her talk show, and now she's just doing a little bit of everything. And I have to do this because you always have to have a little bit of politics. Thank God Donald Trump is out of office now. But the whole birther movement, which Donald Trump could be blamed for starting, ended in 2011 when Barack Obama was like, you know what? Let me just show y'all my birth certificate.
We had to find out, though. We did have to find out. Actually, I went to Kenya snooping around. I actually met Barack Obama's grandfather. No joke. Grandmother. No joke.
Are you being serious?
Yeah, no joke. It was just, you just stumbled upon. But because he still has a relative that lives in Kenya.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know if they're still alive though. But.
All right, Mulberry, this is it. This is your favorite part of my section of the of the podcast.
I purposely didn't look.
Perfect. And I want to see what you got because some of these movies, I have the top 10 grossing movies of 2011. Okay. And this list is kind of exciting. This is a great fucking year for movies. At least, yeah, I think so.
If I need a hint, give me an actor that was in it. Okay.
Word. Got you.
Okay. So is there Transformers in there?
Yes, there is.
Okay. So that's Transformers.
You wouldn't happen to know which. Okay.
That's Dark Side of the Moon.
Very good. Look at you. Shine, Burry. Shine.
Okay.
Was that still Shia LaBeouf or was that Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, that was the last Shia LaBeouf one.
Okay, keep going.
Okay. Then was there a Disney one there? Was there
yes, there's
Pixar?
a Disney movie. There is a Disney, but no Pixar.
Okay.
Oh no, yes. The 10th. Usually we only do top 5, so I wasn't looking at the 10th, but yes, Disney Pixar is number 10.
2011. Was that Cars too?
Very good.
Okay.
Very good.
There's a Disney one there too.
There is a Disney, just straight Disney.
What, Tangled?
Stop it.
Brave? No, fuck that.
Wait, what did you say? Brave? No.
All right, forget that one. Action movie. Was there a Batman movie?
No. Do you want a hint?
Yeah, give me a hint.
Vin Diesel's in it. I'm kidding.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No. I was talking about Fast Five, but that's cheating. This is a hint. God, but that's too big. Oh, this is a good hint. It was the wolves versus the vampires.
Twilight.
Very good. You wouldn't happen to know which one.
3, 2.
No,
was there Hunger Games? Games?
There's no Hunger Games. No, it was 3, I think, because the last movie was 2 parts. Anyways, let me go down the list. I can't believe you missed number 1 because it is one of the franchises we already did. Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 was number 1. Transformers.
That was a huge movie, by the way.
Of course it was, right? Transformers of the Dark Moon was number 2. Pirates of the Caribbean. I thought you were going to get one. On Stranger Tides. Oh, actually, that's a shit one. That's number 3. Twilight was number 4. Mission Impossible. Ghost Protocol. Great movie. We definitely should talk about Ghost Protocol.
Yeah.
Kung Fu Panda number 2 was 6. Fast 5 was 7. Hangover Part 2 was 8. The Smurfs. Could you imagine the fucking Smurfs were 9? And
Cars. Hangover Part 2, bro. I wish I forgot that one.
Hangover Part 2 wasn't that bad,
Nah,
Barry.
that was bad. Bangkok has them now.
Oh, what's it called? Part 2 was Bangkok, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, I thought Hangover 3. There was a third one, right?
Yeah, that one's even worse.
Yeah, the third one I thought was absolute shit, but I thought the second one was decent. That was decent. Anyways, that was the Time Machine, ladies and gentlemen. That was where the movie. The only reason this week I did the top 10 instead of the top 5 is because Fast 5 was number 7, which is watching this movie right now, knowing how good it is, knowing where the franchise is. It's crazy to me that year.
America's full of idiots because this should be number 1 grossing movie.
No, the Deathly Hallows got number 1, but it should have definitely been top 5. It should have definitely been top 5.
How Transformers coasts into that
God,
billions of dollars is insane.
It's insane. Transformers and Twilight being in the top 10 instead of Fast 5 hurts me. But moving from Fast 5 onwards, Fast and the Furious movies have yet to be less than the top 5 in every year that it's come out. So Fast 5, you're right, is when things change from this is a car racing movie to this is Mission Impossible with cars, with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So now it's a different world. And I think Fast 5 is the movie you can say thank you for that.
The studio made a point. They wanted to transition the franchise from a car culture franchise to a heist action series. So this was the transition for them. And then 6 is going to be a complete action movie.
Overhaul. And perfect, because this is a great transition. Talking about the studio, Mumbury, how was it made? Why was it made? Any behind the scenes, Rotten Tomatoes, all of that stuff. Hit me.
All right. So the director was Justin Lin. Producer Vin Diesel, and the guy who did the first one, Neil Moritz. But as far as budget, big budget, 125 million. They were gonna film in Rio, but then Puerto Rico gave them $11 million, so they just filmed all that shit. They filmed all the Rio scenes in Puerto Rico.
Wait. You said Puerto Rico gave them 11 million?
Tax credits.
Oh shit! Whoa, that's dope. Okay.
And then, Rotten Tomatoes 77%, huge. The thing with Fast and Furious movies is they're pretty well liked, aside from the second and third one.
Oh my god!
But it made a huge hit, as we talked about, 7th biggest in the world, $626 million. So successful transition. And this is it's really wild because you never see this. It's not like, Star Wars 5 completely changed it from a sci-fi movie to a spy movie or some shit. Like, this just doesn't happen where 5 movies in and then it changes, Yeah.
But at the same time, I agree. But the pieces that they added to this movie, the fact that they added The Rock in this movie, because this is Dwayne, this is when Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is on his come up, right? Everyone is saying he's his next star. Every movie he does is box office.
But he's been big for a while.
Exactly. And then they add him to a franchise that has a good enough following, and they add a now superstar to that franchise. It's about cars, guns, and you see the action movie. They play Donzo Kuduro. How can you say no? How can you say no?
But he wasn't the original pick.
Ooh. Yeah. Do you want to talk about that now or when we get to casts?
Let's talk about it now because it makes a big difference. You know who the original pick was? And you can kind of see the energy off the first scene, off the train scene, but it's supposed to be Tommy Lee Jones. Was originally supposed to be Hobbs.
No.
Old
I can't
ass
see
dude.
that energy. Burry,
So he was gonna
I cannot see that
Have
energy.
you seen Fugitive? The movie Fugitive?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
Tommy Lee Jones is like 90 years old, bro.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Did you see that fight with Vin Diesel? He would have broken a neck.
yeah, obviously they wouldn't have done that fight, but that was it. That was what they were going for.
No, The Rock is definitely a choice. If Tommy Lee Jones was Hobbs, they would never be Hobbs and Shaw. Forget about it. Forget about it. Dwayne The Rock Johnson, as much as this hurts Vin Diesel's ego, he definitely helped.
He like turbocharged the series.
Exactly.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
Because he did the same thing to Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Oh yeah. And who do you think? This is a good question. Who do you think was a big haul for the Jumanji? Well, you think it was The Rock or Kevin Hart?
I think that one is pretty even.
I think so.
Because they both have like I think they both have like 100 million followers and all this shit.
All that stuff. I think The Rock is a bigger actor, but you're right. Kevin Hart being in that movie and the tandem, because when they did that Central whatever movie, is fantastic. So them together is a great.
I think them together, and you can literally get anybody else.
You can get anybody. Exactly. I can't look. I am praying to. We'll talk about this at the end. Now we're getting off topic. Mumbari, let's get into this movie. Let's talk about the movie that changed the franchise. Best scenes of Fast and the Furious. Hit me.
So there's so many that I actually had to cut back.
Okay, good.
So this is like the skinny version, because otherwise it would have just been the whole goddamn movie. So we'll start out with the prison breakout, which is just like a light
30 seconds
freshener, you know. Gets you going. It makes no sense, but it sets the tone, which is what you'd rather have. You'd rather have a tone setter than it makes sense, because
100%.
3 cars flipping a bus makes 0 sense.
I'm thinking what you're thinking.
And the fact that the announcer goes, I mean, I don't want to sound mean, but his first words were, "Luckily, no one was hurt on the way to a Supermax prison." I mean, I'm sure people are like, all right, like, no one gives a shit. These guys are going like,
Mumbury. Can we try to wait for the hot takes?
I'm here for criminal justice reform. I am. I really am. But
it's a hard ask. Look, listen, I hear you and I understand. Luckily, no one got
hurt.
there
was wearing seatbelts, bro.
And
that's to believe no one got hurt.
Exactly. I mean, like, if you see the actual crash, it's like there's no way. The truck flips like 3-4 times and it like rips apart. And then the next scene, Vin Diesel is just like rolling up. What's up, guy? What's going on? All right, next scene.
Train heist.
Yeah.
This first off, I mean, most movies, like a Mission Impossible movie, it would start out with the breakout, and then that would be the opening action scene, right? And that's it. This movie, that's like the appetizer to the main opening action scene, which is a train heist, which starts 10 minutes into the movie.
Look who showed up.
And there's a bridge jump that has like there's double crosses off the jump. Obviously.
Of course there is. I mean, why wouldn't there be a double cross in this movie?
Dom shows up, and we got to talk about this because they talk about Dom, and they're like, he's making his way down south through to Brazil. At this point, he's the most wanted person pretty much in the world. Do you think he changes his car? Or you think he just rolls around in the same big ass American fucking
in
Charger?
the movie, they make sure to Mia says to Dom, that car is a curse. I mean, they talk about it like he's been in the same car since Fast and the Furious 1, Negro. So, like, of course he keeps the same car. It makes no sense that he drove across the entire Americas in the same car.
They're like, he's in Ecuador. I was like, I know for damn sure that's the only car like that in Ecuador. Like, I don't know how he didn't get caught. And then he just rolls up to the heist place. Yeah. It makes no sense.
It's ridiculous. Of course.
Hit up Enterprise. But Dom shows up through the wall, goes out, and then Dom just steps up. Great scene.
Yeah.
Great scene.
great scene. There's a few things about the scene that is just like it's perfect, right? When they're going into the back, I always love the Mission Impossible cool stuff, like when Mia hits the dude and then they slide the card, right, to just get the fake stuff. I like that sleek shit, right? Yes, this is now we're into the heist movies, right? Right from the get, this is gonna be some hardcore heist movie. And then after that, once they in the back, when Dom just says ladies first to the dude, smooth.
He understands when he was like, I'm getting the GT40.
Exactly.
Dom don't play like that. Dom.
Why do you say that shit out loud? Like, silly, you know what I'm talking about? You could have just
got to be more slick. And here's the other thing. This didn't age very well, but when they're talking about the no extradition in the train and they're listing all the places and she says Hong Kong, I was like, I don't know about that one.
not anymore, boo boo.
No. I think you might get extradited, bro.
You might just get coming back home, boo boo. You might end up in cuffs. Yes. It really is a great scene. And the car chasing, the end of that scene, when he jumps onto Dom's car and they jump off. Your heart is racing. I've seen this movie maybe 20 times, but every time that scene happens, the camera work is so perfect because you're looking at them, right? And then you see the jump. Vin jumps out of the seat. O'Connor jumps off the back, and it's such a beautiful, perfect scene.
This is my issue, and this might because I'm an idiot, and I've watched Triple X 2. State of the Union way too many times.
Ice Cube. It's the greatest thing.
Ice Cube is an action star. I mean, I bought it. But
he really is, though. I mean, that movie was fantastic. That might be the shit movie we can pick.
The thing is, it was like that was right after Are We There Yet? That's the problem. Or right before.
Yeah.
The linking with the spinners. But all I remember from State of the Union, besides Samuel Jackson's scarred ass face, is him jumping. He was a diver and he jumped off that bridge, and they were like, at that height, water turns into concrete, and he had to shoot the water before he went through so that he wouldn't die. And then meanwhile, these guys
are just
cooling drive a car off a bridge, which, by the way, Dom didn't know there was a bridge there. Which means he doesn't know if it's a canyon, if there's a river, if there's anything down there. It could have just been like a dry ass fucking canyon with nothing down there. What if it's like the Grand Canyon, it's like a tiny ass river down there? So they just drive that shit off. But it looks sick. That's the thing. When
it does. That's what I'm saying.
When they're floating up and the car's just going, and Dom, no seatbelt, easy.
Of course not.
But he got out of that car so quick. I mean, even if I didn't have a seatbelt out, there's no way I get out of that car that quick.
Well, exactly. That car is tiny, number one. But like, just to push back a little bit, Triple X, Ice Cube had to shoot the water. They had a car going through there first. My only thing.
But they're not landing on top of the car, bro.
I know. I'm trying to help them out here some way, somehow, bro. They jumped a 300-foot canyon, and Dom was like, "Look, if we're gonna die, we're gonna die together." But yeah. The ending of that is great. One of my favorite lines in that scene. After they get out the water, they're like, "Shitty call, O'Connor. Shitty call."
Dom's line readings in this. I don't know why I keep on calling him Dom. Vin Diesel.
Because that's how you know Vin Diesel is Dom Toretto.
I mean, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Hobbs lands in Brazil. So this isn't like a top scene. This is like, I put it at a 50%. There are a couple 50% scenes because it's not worth, but him walking off that plane with his crew.
Coming in hot.
This is the thing. He's already sweating.
There's anything we can do to help their DSA?
Two things. One, I need a translator.
Claro, we have plenty in the public
Line
relations.
Neves. A patrol officer. You heard me.
But why? We have many more experienced people.
I like her smile.
What's the second thing?
Stay out of my way.
Drenched in sweat, oiled up, sweaty, off the plane.
They're in Brazil. Give him something,
No,
Boburi.
I can't give you something. I can understand if he came in like Spirit Airlines and the AC was broke, I would understand that.
Okay, so now we need to know.
you could land sweaty off Spirit, but you can't land sweaty if you're flying private, you're flying military, landing sweaty.
Listen, I was thinking about this and I knew you were going to bring it up, but I have to say, and maybe you can back me up since you cut your hair off too, but when you go bald, right?
You sweat a lot.
You sweat an insane amount.
But here's the thing. The only time I've ever sweated like that is like when you're at a club or something.
Yeah. And
you're moving a lot and you're wearing mad shit. And then you just fucking start drenched, right? And it like beads up on your head. So unless Dom was
going at it. No, but I know I like that you picked that scene because I also did pick that scene. I didn't pick it, but I noticed it because he comes off like such a boss. I know you're talking about the energy. He comes in,
the swagger,
like
comes off
gangster.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best. And
he just says, "Let's go hunting," off to his crew. So the reason I was saying Tommy Lee Jones is because Tommy Lee Jones, you might laugh, but he has that same energy in The Fugitive.
Okay, well,
and they're pretty much copying him because Harrison Ford breaks the train crashes and Harrison Ford breaks out, and Tommy Lee Jones shows up on the scene like that and just bosses everyone, tells the police what to do, tells them I'm in charge here, and then.
Okay, but can I just ask you? Can I ask you this? Harrison Ford and Tommy Lee Jones, those are two older white folks that you think could go at it.
Came out in 92.
Okay, but even my point, if Tommy Lee Jones played Hobbs in 2011, would you even worry? Would you, like, when you see Hobbs walk out that plane, you're like, oh shit's getting real. Maybe Tommy Lee Jones will have like the officiating type shit, but you wouldn't be afraid. It's Vin fucking Diesel. It's Torretto. I wouldn't be afraid.
It's Torretto.
I have to watch The Fugitive, but it's gonna be a hard ask for you to want me to believe that Tommy Lee Jones couldn't live up to Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
I'm just telling you about the energy. But
fair. But before you move on to that scene, I love when he just I just don't know why he has to be such a dick. All right. It's the Brazilian DSS or whatever. And they trying to help him out. And he's like, stay the fuck up. I'm like, nigga, just take it down a notch. He's asking, what do you need? Right? He's coming in too hot. Furry.
Nah, but at some point in your life, you want to be able to do that. Like, you want to be like... you want to be able to do that. You want to be like, I can't think of a play. Where would you be when you're doing that?
So, but like, it has to be in your specific profession. It has to be a very specific thing. But you have to be like the dude.
Sure, you're drawing someone's blood, and then the nurse is like, "Do you need any help?" And then you like, "Damn way."
But Murray, I think I might get fined. I don't think it works like that at the hospital.
No, but it can't be your hospital. It has to be a hospital you've never been to.
Oh yeah, that's me as a travel nurse. Just stay out the fucking way. But Murray, next scene. You're ridiculous. You're goddamn ridiculous.
Another 50%er. This is the favela roof run.
Oh, that's a 50%er.
That's a 50%er.
Okay.
Let's go.
Bad guys find their hiding. First off, we got to talk about Dom Toretto can't pick real estate to save his life. He cannot pick one place to hide in.
No, he cannot.
That is, I mean, every bad guy finds every spot so quick, but they have to escape. They run through the roofs. Don't know how Mia makes it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't know. But Dom Toretto getting chased by the Rock. This is the first time they're kind of in the same area, and the Rock runs through a wall and through a window. And this is great because, I mean, if it was anywhere else but the favelas, this wouldn't work.
Yeah, of course.
But it's literally made out of
tin, aluminum, whatever.
Foil, yeah. This shit is
Tin
like
foil. I think it's a little stronger than tin foil.
barely. But there's I like one where The Rock jumps out the window and Vin Diesel's midair, turns around, looks at The Rock, and then lands. And it's just a great scene. I think it was in the trailer, and they're tracing each other. A lot of jumping punches and all that stuff. A lot of bullets missing for some reason.
Of course. And I just noticed that there's just a whole lot of indiscriminate killing. I mean, people are shooting guns, like everyone is dying, right? When like when Hobbs's DEA people just gun down these I know that they have, but like there's just zero.
And the second in command guy's just like, not about this.
Exactly. It's just, and that dude, bro, in every fight scene, he just gets away. He always just gets away, which pisses me off. Anyways, I just think the killing needs to be toned down just a little.
Nah, bro. This ain't a car movie no more.
But in the beginning of that scene, continuing on as Hobbs being the gangster that he is, when those Brazilian dudes are all around him in the favelas, and they pull out their guns before they start the chase.
Yeah.
And then Hobbs's team pulls out their guns, and you hear the pew, like the aiming shit, and he's like, I thought so. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
it. Dude,
I
was the only thing I was thinking about during that scene is the poor motherfucker that had to find a pistol that could look big in Dwayne The Rock Johnson's hand. Because I was like, they definitely tried out 20 pistols. All of them look like fucking pea shooters, and they have to find some fucking cannon. It is goddamn huge. It's the size of my arm. I mean, it's huge.
It makes no sense. All right, talk to me.
This is all right. So this is a star scene. So
a real contender,
a regular one, and then a star scene. There's only 3 star scenes. Well, then we're gonna need a team montage.
Then we're gonna need a team. All right, let's run through the bases real quick. Who do we got?
First, we're gonna need a chameleon. Someone who can blend in anywhere.
What else?
A fast talker. Someone who can bullshit their way out of anything.
I got that.
And this is when Vin Diesel does his patented talks through. We need a chameleon. We needed this. We needed that.
High tech something.
Yeah.
Someone who could back people up.
And we needed that. And then this is the best part. He like looks at the camera, leans back, puts up his 2 fingers, and then he goes, "We need 2 precision drivers." And I'm just like, dude, this dude is.
What else we need?
Most importantly, we're gonna need 2 precision drivers. Guys that don't crack under pressure. Guys that never lose.
You know we got that.
I mean, there has to be an award for this. I don't know what it would be. It's not an Oscar, but there's something.
It's definitely not an Oscar.
I mean, give the man a People's Choice or a Nickelodeon Slime Award or some shit.
I'm pretty sure he's won a million of those. But you were so right. And bro, this is like Ocean's 11, Ocean's 13, like any heist movie.
Right out of the playbook.
It is like, but it's so good. The reason it's in every movie, the reason it's a trope, it's because it works, right? It works every single time. And it's the quickest and best way to get to know the different people and what their jobs are, right? Let's get them all here. Let's tell us in the beginning what their title is and what their job is. And let's get this party started.
By the way, I like to keep talking about that scene. Yeah. I mean, it's such a great scene and it's enjoyable, but once you watch the movie a couple of times, I don't want to be like the cost-cutting CEO, but you could trim some of that fat in that team. There's a little too many. There's too many people on that team.
You think
you could trim some of them? Han and
Giselle
and no.
The brothers Leo and Don.
One of them can go. First off,
Stop it.
One of them can go, and then the other thing is Tyrese and Han. One of them can go. Han does nothing. Han does nothing the whole movie.
Listen, you're right. Han actually does nothing the entire movie. Outside of eating chips. This nigga is eating chips the entire movie, bro. The entire movie. That's all he does.
That's what I'm saying. And then with those two guys, they blow up a pipe. One of them could have done that. I'm just trimming the fat. Here's the thing.
I'm sure you are, but this team is epic, bro.
Mia doesn't need to be there.
Mia doesn't need to be there.
You could have Google Maps that shit. I honestly think that if OK Google could have handled all that shit.
Wait, what? The cops and everything? Go fuck yourself. No, but that's a thing that Tej could have done because
Tej could have done that.
Could have done that, but I love this conversation. Can we just continue with this conversation for a hot second? Yeah. Let's decide right now who needs to be part of the familia.
Okay, so you need Vin Diesel and Paul Walker because those are the drivers.
Yes, the precision. You need 2 precision.
Gal Gadot gets the handprint, so you kind of need that.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
we need Tej. We need Ludacris. He does the vault and he's all of the tech stuff, right?
And you need Tyrese to go to be the big mouth, but he could also go with Giselle to the place to get the handprint. So you're saying both Dawn and Leo and Giselle and Mia, 4 people part of the team are out. You're just wasting time. You're taking $11 million off the top for no reason. 44. That's $44 million off the top, bro. 4 times 11.
That's a good point. Yeah,
and
we should cut the fat.
Yeah, cut the goddamn fat, bro.
But I have to say this, and I did write.
But I like the whole team being there. They all had something.
They really do. And I like how they let each one of them shine. They definitely did not do enough for Han. You're right. Because he's the one person who actually does.
And I said it before.
Yeah.
You know what I said?
What?
About why Tokyo drifting through a joking.
Even the studio don't like him, huh? You're the worst. You fucking animal.
No, but shout out to Han because he came back. He comes back in a new one.
Yeah,
Fast
he
10,
does come back.
Fast 9, whichever one we're on right now.
But no, very good. But I have to say, still on this, I know we'll get off in a hot second, but that entire meetup scene, the fact that they all reached, I mean, they're all coming from different places in the world. They get to the exact same time. Oh, dude, what a coincidence.
This is insane because every time I've picked someone up from the airport, they could tell me 4:15. I'm there at 4:15. There's always some shit. My bag didn't come out. The wind was buffeting. I couldn't land on time. All this shit.
There's always
all these guys land perfectly.
Perfectly, right? The boat gets there the same time, the airplane, the same time, the train, they all get there.
This motherfucker, Tej, buys a car as soon as he lands. I don't know how that's possible.
It's ridiculous. But I know you just said Giselle Gal Gadot did not need to be there, but every scene she's in, she looks so sexy. And there's nothing it's the sexiest thing in the world, seeing that sexy of a lady get off a motorcycle. And then when Roman was like, spread those sexy legs.
Roman was acting sportic the whole
Roman was going in hard. Listen, hey, shoot your shot, brother. Shoot your shot.
No, that was a terrible shot. He literally walks up to her and it's like, sexy legs. What time do they open?
All right, brother. Can we say hello first? Can we say hello first? But Roman is hilarious in this. Hilarious. Okay. And so you're saying that scene is literally just the talking up until they get there and they all say hello.
Yeah. I mean, like the map explaining thing really. Here's the thing with this movie that you don't really notice until after is. You don't actually know what the original plan was. The original plan was
Yeah. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
The original plan was to drive in undercover. The original plan was to drive in so quick the cameras don't see him, and then steal the money undercover.
And then they got the fake cars, the cop cars.
So then they were going to drive in with cop cars and then steal the money stealthily undercover.
Yes.
They don't really explain how, because that sounds so difficult. I mean, that sounds super difficult.
Mumbury, stop it. You really think that breaking in and stealing the money is more difficult than driving a full vault across? Oh, you think? Okay.
These motherfuckers waltzed in with the armored truck, drove right through everything, hooked the vault up, and then got out of there. Seems pretty simple to me.
You've been watching too many movies. If anything in the world isn't simple, it's that, Negro. It's that. But look, listen, they have the 2 precision drivers. So who am I to judge?
Exactly.
Who am I to judge? Next scene.
This is Brazil.
Your mistake? Thinking you're in America. You're a long way from home. This is Brazil.
This is oh my God, Mumbury.
That's the one thing I quote the most, even though no one understands what I'm talking about, and everyone thinks I'm.
Oh, no, I understand what you're talking about, Mumbury. I definitely understand. Look, I'm saying, Mumbury, like, I think that's the best dialogue because you know how Hobbs is basically a cartoon character in this movie, and he always says he has to be like, look
boy,
at this.
When he calls him boy, I was like, nah, you can't be doing that.
Exactly. That's one step too far. Mumbury, I love that entire conversation.
Yeah, because on one hand, you have someone calling him boy, and on the other hand, Vin Diesel's literally wearing a wife beater in public. So,
and he does that multiple times in this movie.
You literally don't know who to root for. That's the beauty of the movie. Because at some point, you're like, Vin Diesel has to go down for this. You have to go to jail.
At some point, you have to go to
2003. Jail. It's not 2003.
You can't be wearing a white beater with white pants.
Yeah. You cannot be doing that, bro.
Talk to your brother. I think I saw him wear the same outfit.
But I love that whole scene. It's they're head to head. The Rock is once again he must have rolled in with no AC because sweating so much.
Yeah, of course he is.
It's a classic. The Rock is just used to doing everything. I mean, Hobbs is just used to going in there and getting. I mean, you saw with the gun earlier, and then when he just shows up and he's just like, you mistaken thinking you got a choice, boy. And I'm just like, that line has worked so many times that Hobbs just never missed.
It's never missed. And then when he's like, he's like, how about you, Brian? You feel like you're a wrestler? He's like, not even a little bit. I love it. I love it, bro. It's like, just how big is your dick? Let's measure right now.
Put him on the table.
That's the entire scene. Is who's got the bigger dick, right? And then he's like, this is bro. Oh, and he opens his arms. It's like
he says it like he's been living there all his life. This motherfucker landed last week.
Bro, he says it like he's Jesus Christ at top of the building. He has his arms out like it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Can you imagine if Jesus Christ came back wearing a wife beater? I mean,
he would have to say, "Go back, bro."
Dude, I'd be like, honestly, Son of Christ, you gotta change something.
you gotta do something. But I don't think Jesus Christ is a wife beater kind of guy.
I don't think so either.
All right.
Next 50%er is a cop car quarter mile.
The next 2 lights. 100,000.
We don't pull this job off, we're probably dead anyway. Let's make it $1 million.
I like that. All right, $1 million quarter mile.
All right then.
Only live once.
Because I put it there because it's the only racing scene in the entire movie. And I was like, all right, we got to put something in this because this is the death of the Fast series, pretty much, of racing and all that stuff.
Can I say this real quick? Can I just say this real quick? I think you're talking about cutting scenes, right? Before that, oh no, is it before that when they steal the other car? Yes, when they go to the Brazil whatever Fast and the Furious thing, and like I got so hyped about that scene because it reminded me. You're right. That was the one time it reminded me of what Fast and the Furious used to be. They go there, they see this dude who's running the Brazilian race car thing, and they steal his blue sports car.
Yeah.
That they skipped the actual race, which I thought was super badass because the entire audience knows obviously Dom's gonna rip this dude. But I really do think, and when I was doing research, I think they actually had footage and they did cut that entire scene of Dom versus the dude in the blue car. But you're right. This is literally the only racing scene in the entire movie. I mean, this is what Fast and the Furious is supposed to be. And it's like a 30-second thing. And it's a great fucking scene. It's a great scene.
And then after that, I have the final heist. This is a star scene. Final heist. This is like the future right here.
Okay. So
huge action set piece, pretty much from start to finish. I skipped the ambush.
Okay, so
I don't really give a shit about those guys dying. No.
Okay, I understand, but did you care? Did you like? Did you find it at all entertaining? The Vin Diesel versus The Rock
The
fight?
Rock.
Yeah.
You just made a big mistake.
Took me a while to find that tracking chip, but not as long as I flipped the receiver. You're going down, Torretto.
I'm right here.
Yeah, it's I just said I would just said the wildest thing.
Wait, what?
Must just said, yeah, it was good to look at. No,
it was entertaining.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes.
It was entertaining. Just knowing the history that they had to like negotiate who punches who and how many punches were going and who would win at the end. And the fact that shot took a week. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but I don't understand why they let the whole team go before they went in and caught Dom. But I mean, it was a good scene. It was a good scene. For me, it was my favorite.
Of course not. And it's definitely not my favorite, but there's just a couple of things about that scene. Yeah, I think the only reason is because if you just see what Hobbs does, he's like the alpha of the alpha, right? So all of his people, all of his team knows he wants to get a couple of swings on in Dom. So they're going to let him do his fight, right? And then Dom is Dom. So Dom's going to actually do the fight. I think you're probably one of maybe like 100 people who are so deep in the Fast and the Furious franchise that you know the details of how long it took to record that scene. But Murray, stop it. No one else in the world knows that.
I read about it doing this. It took them a week. But here's the thing. If I had to put any money down, if I had to put my life, Vin Diesel doesn't have a fucking chance.
Not a fucking chance.
Here's the thing. This movie they do a good job of like, even when there's one where Vin Diesel's talking to the cop, Elsa Pataki, Elena.
Yeah.
And they're like when The Rock is talking to her, and they're like almost the same height. The Rock only has like 5-6 inches in her. And I'm like, that's a joke. There's no way they're that close in height.
Close in height.
They do a good job of Vin Diesel and The Rock because oh
my God.
Vin Diesel's like 5'10", 5'11". He's not huge.
No. That's like, yeah, I think like 5'8", 5'9" is like average. Wow. Yeah. The Rock is like what, 6'2"?
No, The Rock's like 6'4". I'm pretty sure. He's huge. And so that's the thing. I'm like, when these guys are fighting, I'm like, The Rock's gotta have like 20, 30 pounds on him.
Yeah, they do 20. I think it's at least 45, 50. Bro, this dude, The Rock, I mean, if you see him now, it's like street muscle and veins. Yeah. It's like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, take a break, Negro. Take a break. You're good. You're good. Yes, I hear you. But the scene right after the fight, they're fighting, they break glass, everything. If you just watch the movie, Mumbury, literally, they get into the car, they're driving off to get ambushed. Both The Rock and Vin Diesel clean, no blood, no scars, clean. Shirts are crisp. Did they shower, band-aid up, get to the
yeah, let me just wash up.
They don't even try to make you believe in the movie. They don't even try. Okay, but you said it's just the ending scene.
Yeah, but both these guys are too big to be doing all these stuff. Like there's one scene when The Rock is leaning over the GT40 to see if there's a chip in it, and it looks like a toy car. It looks like those little like toy cars that kids roll around in. That's what it looks like when he's leaning in. He's like, it's a shame what they do to a classic. Might as well slap neon lights in it. And I'm like, dude, your hand is bigger than the steering wheel. What are you doing here?
Right? And he literally is bending by the waist. You can see his waist, and the camera's on the other side of the fucking car. It's like, of course you didn't try to get in there. You couldn't fit, you big bastard. Yes, I agree.
And then in Hobbs and Shaw, it's like him, Jason Statham, and the woman in a supercar. And I'm like, there's no way that's happening.
There's no way. There's no way. All right. So let's talk about this big scene, the actual big scene.
Well, the plan's working. You guys have every corrupt cop in Rio on your tail. You guys have to move fast.
So you started right, like when they are driving in with that big SUV that breaks through and they break the thing, and that's when they hook up. I had a question about that right in the beginning. Isn't Elena in the movie, like Vin's girlfriend at the end of the movie, isn't she shooting at her own coworkers? Like
corrupt. That's why it's allowed, bro. You don't think about their families. Don't think about the guy that's just taking an extra $1,000 a month to feed his family. Don't think about that. Just think about they're corrupt.
I was
They're
thinking,
corrupt.
yes, and it's so good that you said that because that's one thing that they like really emphasized when Mia was talking. You got it. All of the corrupt police officers are chasing you. So yes, you're right. They definitely emphasized the fact that they were corrupt.
Yeah. Brazil defunded the police a while ago.
Burry, seriously? Like one day, I mean, you like the beginning of her shift, right? She's going into work, putting on her sweater, getting a badge, she goes meets, and then by the halfway through the day, she's shooting at them.
Yeah.
Come on, give me something. Anyways, keep going.
It's just it's like an iconic action scene. You can't like driving a safe through with the two chargers. I don't even know how. There's actually a car in that safe that drove around.
Wait, what do you mean?
That's how they did it. That's how they filmed it.
That's dope. That is dope. That's crazy.
Then the safe switcheroo that they do. I mean, it's classic heist action. It's so good. Yeah, that's one of my favorite scenes. And then I got one more, which is the best scene of all time.
Okay, you better stop. You're insane. But during that scene, oh wait, do you consider it like that entire scene, or do you saying is it when Dom turns around dolo? Is that a different scene?
We could add that. Scene.
Okay. Well, okay. Oh, okay. Well, you have to make a decision because Dom turning around and he was like, when he says to,
that's the part that makes no sense because they know it's not a real safe,
right? So
I was always wondering. I never get that because are they just acting for the camera? Because
of course,
why are they worried? It's an empty safe.
It's an empty safe.
Just safe.
Latch it, go and drive, motherfucker. Yeah. Drive. Isn't that what you guys are good at? Just drive, right? So. No, so yes, if it is part of the same scene, I think it is epic though, because Dom's turning and swerving, and throughout this entire chase, the amount of damage that they bring to
they've killed multiple innocent people.
Hundreds, bro.
And then Mia was like, everyone in that bank was corrupt. Keep going.
Bro, and throughout the entire scene, you see Dom and Brian. They're just smiling and smirking and we can go right and just break the shit out of this fucking town. Brian is like, go wide, and they take out these poles and it's bus stops. The entire city has gone to shit. Fun question here, Mulberry. Do you think that they did $100 million worth of damage?
Maybe 30, 40.
Are you serious? You only think 30, 40? The 17 different police cars, the entire bank that was broken, 30, 40 million? Maybe. Yeah. I think $100 million is probably about how much damage.
I think it goes really far in Puerto Rico. I think money goes pretty far.
I hear you. All right. What's the best scene of all time?
Definitely the best scene in the movie. And one of the most iconic scenes of all time. The opening the safe. Bracket, and then the music starts playing softly, and then when they open it, and then you just see the smiles on everybody's faces. And
it's so worth
Danza Kuduro starts blasting, and then it literally goes into a montage of what everyone's doing after, and it's just good looks, bro. It's just everyone's happy. There's no downside. There's no one like rotting in jail. It's not setting up for Fast 6 or whatever. It's just
this is a happy ending to a fantastic movie. Did they know they were going to do a Fast 6 at the end of Fast 5? They did. Okay. Was there an end credit scene? Because I didn't wait to see the end.
Yeah, there is. It's a Hobbs and what's her face? The agent, the agent from Fast 2. No, from Fast 2.
Oh, okay. That dude. I know the guy.
No, the woman.
Anyways, keep going. What happened with
her and Hobbs?
Yeah.
And they find out that Michelle Rodriguez is still alive.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Okay, well, I guess that was the setting up for the next movie, but I did really like how they just had a happy ending. The Tej and Roman having the same car, two in the West.
Roman's such an idiot, bro. It's like he won $100 million. He literally was like, I won $10 million, right? And he goes, I made a shake in Abu Dhabi and offer he couldn't refuse. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? How much money do you have? You have $10 million. How are you making fake offers? They wiped their fucking ass with that money. What are you talking about?
No. Stop it. No, I think for like $2 million, they would sell that car, right?
$2 million, but that's a fifth of the money you won.
I get it.
Car.
I'm just saying. Hey, listen, let the man ball, bro. Tej got the same car too. I hope he didn't have to negotiate with the
He's a business.
But yeah, no, they're living a good life. Before we close this out, going back to the previous scene, when Hobbs walks by and Reyes is like, "Help me," and he double taps, just like that. Great.
With that big ass gun.
it's like The Rock he is like, you know how in like WWE you have to be this crazy like
he's like the sheriff, like
exactly.
like the old sheriff from like the westerns with a big gun, and he just makes up rules as he goes along, and all right, maybe I'll take you in, and maybe I won't, and all this bullshit. That's pretty much what he is.
Insane. It's like, aren't you a cop? You work for the law. You can't just kill people when you can handcuff them. It's beautiful.
But we skip the ambush scene, but there's one funny ass scene during the ambush. The black guy and it's on his team when he's like pinned down, and the Rock's looking at him, and it's in slow motion, and they're just looking at each other. And then one grenade just drops right next to dude. Honestly, the funniest part of the whole movie. It's hilarious. I mean,
you're such an asshole. It doesn't even comprehend.
I don't even know how a grenade. I mean, that grenade dropped like someone walked over, dropped the grenade straight up, and then walked. But the fact that it lands right next to the dude, hilarious. Just fucking hilarious.
You're the worst, Burberry. You're the actual fucking worst. Okay, so you're saying that the opening the safe is your favorite scene?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, my favorite.
The montage after is great. The two guys from 4 on a Monte Carlo putting 10 million on each.
Red and
great.
Black. You think it landed in green? That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I can't agree with you. You're insane. I mean, the car chase is easily the best scene in the movie. I mean, if that's, I mean, that's long. It is a little long. It is definitely a little long. But the thing that like made me obsessed.
Could you imagine if in Ocean's 11, when they're following that robotic van? Could you imagine if it was 10 minutes long?
If they were pulling a safe and destroying corrupt cops, I would be okay. Great.
Corrupt cops.
But
one of those guys was innocent. One of those guys was just saw the safe going by and was like, I'm a cop. I have to follow.
As soon as they leave the police station, right? Regular cops are gonna have to go after them. You're pulling a safe across the city. Like, stop it, right? But the thing that I absolutely love, and I'll never like. There's always these switcheroos and like Inception. Is he alive? Is he not alive? Right. But this trick, find out that with the vault in the truck, I thought that was fantastic.
It makes no sense how that's possible, but
of course, but you just go. But at this point, and everything is possible, bro.
Yeah, you gotta put some olive oil on the safe. Let that shit slide and some shit. I don't even understand how it slides up and into the truck. I've never seen anything like it.
And you, ladies and gentlemen, you have to understand something when you're watching the movie. Mia says you have a 10-second.
Yeah.
So you have to put it into the truck, hook your shit and hook it up to a new vault, and that has to be all within 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Look, do your best. Believe what you can. It's Fast and the Furious. This is an Avengers movie. It's just with different superheroes. That's what it is. Okay. And I have the same thing. Danza Kuduro at the end. It's the perfect song for this perfect movie. I mean, this is Brazil, baby. This is Brazil.
And then it became like a #1 hit, right?
Oh, yeah. More than a #1 hit. Okay. Least favorite scene, Mumbury. Least favorite scene.
Dude, that Reyes business meeting, I don't know why it's in this movie. When Reyes is like having the two guys over and he's like, Brazil, the Spanish, they tried coming here. We killed them. That's why we speak Portuguese. I'm just like, yo, come on. What are we doing here? I mean, as soon as The Rock showed up, I wrote down like, dude, immediately as soon as The Rock showed up, I was like, this is the real bad guy. Reyes, what's Reyes doing?
No, stop it. Mumbury, stop it. We want, I know he is like, Hobbs is who you actually care about, but Reyes, I actually have down that Reyes is a believable bad guy. The scene where he grabs one of that shit and beats the fuck out of that dude is fucked up. But like, yeah, he's a bad guy. And in that scene, I know it's ridiculous and it's wild. And I agree, we could have skipped it. It's not my worst. We could have skipped it. But I like the way he thinks about it. He's like, and he explains why and how everyone in the favelas likes him or loves him or he owns them. It's because he gives them something that they think they could have. And it makes sense. And you just needed, all you needed is that, but they could have added that saying a conversation or whatever he said when he was talking to his goon.
But Elena repeats it to.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because no one is stupid enough in Brazil to steal from Reyes.
But then he also goes that he gives the people in the favelas things so they like him.
Exactly. But my least favorite scene is the I think I know this movie is wild and they do the craziest shit in the world, but I think one of the most reckless things in the world, like that happened in this movie, is Vin going to the chick's house to get that $20 chain that she says, $20 of silver or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's ridiculous. Look, listen, I know it means something to you, but are you really going to risk everything and everyone to pick up a $20 chain? Mumbury, come on. And on top of that, I know they had to have a moment. So at the end of the movie, when they hook up, it's not weird and out there. But at the same time, I thought that scene was ridiculous. I thought it was stupid.
I think it's more ridiculous that she's wearing that shit.
Right? Like,
that's more ridiculous. Like, it's understandable that he'd go back if that's the only thing that he has. That's from from Letty.
From Letty.
Like, I understand that. What I don't understand is, all right, the guy you're hunting down drops his chain. And you put it like it's a Rock Nation chain. Put it on immediately. That's what I don't get.
But you know what? The Torretto does save her life when those goons in the favelas chase were going to kill her, and he was like, they saw you, and so he did save her life. So maybe he's of course he is. Of course. So that was my least favorite scene when they were meeting in that cutesy papoosy bullshit when they were when he got his chain back. Moving forward, let's talk about the cast. I know we dabbled in talking a lot about the cast here, but we have to. It's a team heist movie. You have to talk about the cast. But MVP, Mumbury, I want to know who your MVP is.
I said Vin Diesel on The Rock, Shaq and Kobe.
I said Hobbs. I just straight up just said The Rock.
See, the thing is, because Vin Diesel really, he gets the good lines in this. He gets to growl a lot and do the "we're not going quiet this time" and all this great lines that you're just like, all right, Vin Diesel. I mean, it's clearly the focal point of this.
Yes.
And Hobbs does work so well too.
It's just the reason I say The Rock is because at this point, like, this is The Rock's entrance into the movie. But at this point, Vin Diesel has been saying the same goddamn shit the entire 6 years. Familia, it's only about us. We got to do it together. So at this point, I know every line he's going to say before he says it. Everything The Rock says is just, it's so dramatic and it's so crazy and it's so like off the cuff bullshit. And it's like, it's not believable, but it's like if someone who's 6'4" made of straight muscle.
The Rock literally talks insane in this movie. I mean, of course, Vin Diesel talks wild, but The Rock, I mean, he literally says, make peace with whatever demons you got left. Who says shit like that?
when Brian O'Connor is describing The Rock, he's like, that's his style. The
Old
wrath,
Testament.
Old Testament, bloodbath, the wrath of God. That's his style. What style is that? What kind of style is that?
He would not survive Black Lives Matter.
The police brutality? Fuck that. He's the first one in cuffs.
Literally be a video of Hobbs in LA beating the shit out of two guys. And
he'd be like, fuck it. I gave him one choice. I love it. I fucking love it. The Rock, yeah, he would not survive. I don't
give a shit what you did. You just two names that hit my goddamn desk.
I'm here to pick you up. It's like, word, guy, word. So you just don't even care if this is just
hero.
I love it. I love it. Anyways,
no LVP for me.
No LVP.
Such a good movie.
Look, I know I always do this, but it's
or if you gun to my head, I had to pick one. It would be the first guy in the first money house that gets robbed. Because number one, he is the worst outfit ever. He's wearing a tank top with the ugliest hat ever.
The dude who got fucked up by Reyes.
Yeah. You know whose money are you stealing?
We ain't stealing that.
Worst hat, and then he does like, you know whose money you're stealing?
You have to say that.
And then he goes and gets his shit rocked by Reyes. And I was like, what? I was like, dude, this dude just lost $10 million. Why would you go tell him that shit yourself?
You have to. Who's gonna do it, my brother? Who's gonna do it?
I would be in Ecuador.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. And just be like, yeah, tell everyone, tell Reyes that they killed me. Just dip.
Yeah. I'd fake my death and be in Ecuador.
And I'm happy you brought that up because that scene is dope. And when they burnt that money, I was like, Batman Returns. Is that Batman? The begin, whatever, with the Joker burning the money. Oh, yeah. I always think any scene in any movie where people are burning the money it's just badass. It's just like, I'm not doing this. There's nothing to scare to fear. Yeah. I'm not chasing the money. I'm here for the business, right? So I love that scene. I do love how he burnt that money. But my LVP is definitely Reyes's goon. That dude, he just doesn't do anything. He's like, especially in the beginning of the movie where he was just like, I'm going to get into the GTO. No one else gets. I'm like, bro.
Don't worry, we'll meet him. We're all going to the same place.
Right?
Dude, are you guys whispering him? He whispers to his boy from behind the GT40. And then I was like, that's so stupid. And then literally the next scene, Vin Diesel whispers to Mia from inside the GT40. And I'm like, how do these guys
not hear each other? Like, what is going on? I mean, they are driving and the fucking thing is open. It's wild. It's wild. Quotables. I know that there are a bunch of quotes in this movie, and we talked about a bunch. But there are a few here that I have. Do you want to go? Do you have any, or can I just jump in this?
You start.
Hobbs, when he first gets in there, when he's walking out of the plane, when he first lands in Brazil, above all else, don't ever let them get into a car. Love it. I was like, yeah, let's make sure that happens. Hobbs again, when he's talking about surveillance on Reyes, let's get surveillance on Reyes. He goes to the John. I want to know how many times he shakes it. This is why he's the greatest actor in this movie. And then Taj and Roman, when they meet up, when are you going to give MLK his car back? When are you going to give Rick James his jacket back? And this is Roman. I love when the funny dude makes a really good point. And he says, this sounds personal. Personal ain't good business. And then I know you don't like Dawn and what's it called, Leo. But I love the fact that one's always speaking Spanish and one's always speaking English. But he's like, why you always got to be so negative? And then this dude, I think it's Leo, who's like, I'm not negative. I'm just positive you're going to fuck this up. I love it. And then my last one is when Vin does his epic line, running, when they was like, we got to run away. This is our only chance. And he says, running ain't freedom. I love it. Those are my quotes. Those are the quotes. And the entire This Is Brazil conversation, that entire conversation, Burry, that entire conversation, the calling the boy, do you feel like you're arrested? This is Brazil. That entire conversation is one of my favorite quotables.
And then the Swardic Roman Pierce quote, 11 million sounds like a whole lot of vaginal activity to me.
Listen, if you're gonna ball, you better ball hard, brother. Listen, get yours however you can. Get yours. Roman Pierce is an animal, but He has a bunch of lines. He's just so funny. And like the Mission Impossible, Missing Fucking Insanity, when they're on top of the roof looking at the police station. Tyrese is, and that's why.
I don't know why he needed a big mouth for that. I don't understand why he needed a big mouth for that. Why couldn't you just walk in, give him the package, and walk out?
It just be simple. Like I think him having a big mouth made that scene worse. The dude was like yelling at him. Yes. I agree. Moving forward, the remake, the recast. I don't know how you want
I don't have one because there's so many sequels, there's so many spin-offs. I don't know what you want to do. Like I know they're trying to do an all-woman one. I don't know. I don't even know if that's going to be good after Ocean's 8.
Did you not like Ocean's 8? Did you not like it?
Here's the thing. And here's the thing.
Better than Ghostbusters?
Yeah, better than Ghostbusters. It's actually watchable. But
I love Ocean. I love the Ocean's 12s, like that trilogy, but Ocean 8.
You don't need. They try to remake Ocean's 11 with the same characters, just women, and it doesn't make sense because once you just use the actors and just make new characters.
Make new characters. Call it Ocean's 8, but just do something else. Like just not be related to the fucking whoever, right? The sister of whoever. I agree. But I thought you were going to say that you didn't have a remake because they have made so much, but this is where we have to have that conversation. Your favorite Fast and the Furious?
It has to be Fast 5. It's Fast 5. Fast 7's okay, but it's completely off the edge. Fast 2, Fast 1, the good, and then of course Fast 3 with Donkey Kong, Drift King. Great.
Dude, that's the greatest song ever, bro. That's the
yeah, great song.
I think listen, Fast, Too Furious is a personal favorite. Like that's what got me hooked into the series. I thought
it's like Triple X State of the Union.
Exactly. Like for me, like just personally for me, but like if you just want to look at it just simply, this is the peak of, not the peak, but like we'll see what happens with Fast 9, because this movie seems like it's
not going to be as good as this. There's no way. After Fast 8,
they're going to space. Like I mean, like Fast 8.
In Fast 8, I literally watched The Rock get out of his moving car, move a missile, left, and then get back in his car. And I was like, what did I just watch?
I forgot that happened, bro. These movies are just becoming absolutely ridiculous, right? I mean, in Fast 7, they take their cars off of a fucking airplane. Yeah. It's becoming too much, but you're right, because right now,
and they do shit that doesn't need to be done. Like that cars in the airplane. Why don't you just drive the cars up there the night before and just hide them?
Exactly.
And drive down. I mean, why do they have to drop off an airplane?
No, because you're right. And I think you're right. The reason it can't be better than Fast 5 is because this was the first switch to the heist stuff. And now, because they've done such crazy thing, the only way the movie can be better, or was what they think is better, they have to outdo themselves.
Yeah,
and
it's like heroin.
That's a really good way to describe it. It's like heroin. It really is.
We got used to it, bro.
You got to up the dose, baby. My tolerance is a little too high right now.
How much do you think Vin Diesel was paid for this movie?
Oh my God. No, I know that Vin Diesel is raking in the money. I mean, and the amount of scenes that he was like, I mean, that the scene where he grabs the Rock's hand and he puts his hand like this. I'm like, why don't you just have a regular?
That's one of those things where it's like you read a book about how to be a man, and it's just like you do handshakes like this,
right? And they grab the forearms. Can you just be normal for a second? But how much they got paid? I would have to say, I'm thinking like what Tony Stark was getting paid, like 80, 90 million, right?
No, there's nothing like that.
No?
Those movies made like $2 billion, bro.
Oh, you're right.
It's made 600 million.
Shit. I don't know. Let's say 10 million?
15 million.
15. Okay. Wowzers. Jesus Christ. How much does he get paid more every single one? Like, is it like this one
now,
that's
I mean, he was producing this one, so he probably now he's probably making like 20, 30.
Yeah, that's insane. That's insane. No, but and when I said 80, 90, that's bullshit. I think it was probably like 30, 40 for Tony Stark.
No, Tony Stark was making 89. I think on the last two, he made like 150 total on Endgame and Infinity War together. They paid him $40 million just to show up in Civil War.
40 million? No, but like in Civil War, he was really part of that movie.
And I think they paid him like 15 million just to show up in Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, that's a little too much money to just show up. He literally just showed up in that movie.
Yeah.
He just showed up. Like there was 2 scenes where he just showed up. Yeah, well, good for him. Look, listen, good for them. Any final thoughts, any movie questions, any notes that you want before we close the door? Talk to me.
We talked about Dom on the Run in South America.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget the scene. I always forget that they get caught first.
Yeah,
and
I forgot that too.
I don't know what it adds that they meet Reyes off the jump, because I guess it's what, I don't know, because it's not like they get any new information. They know that they still want the car, but they knew that before. And they escaped so easily that they might as well just have never been caught, and they might as well have just like swam out, and because it makes no sense. They escaped so quick. They literally like unlatch after the conversation, beat the 2 people there, and then walk home. And I'm just like, if that's in the movie, why don't you just have them land and then show up home, and then they're like, all right, what did they want from the GT40?
Yeah. I think, look, I agree with you entirely, because they could have just had Reyes's goon go back to Reyes and be like, we have to go find Torretto, and they didn't have to meet, right? But I think, like, just movie wise, you want the big bad guy to meet the big good guy. Yeah, and that's like the only thing, right? Because I guess you need the threat of Mia to Vin Diesel. Maybe but you have to think about this. Just think about it for a second. In the entire movie, Vin never meets Reyes outside of that moment.
Yeah.
So like that's my thing, is there has to be a scene where the big good guy and the big bad guy meet at least once. So I know
he meets Reyes at the end on the bridge.
No, when he's on the floor and the Rock blasts his brains open.
They're in the same area.
I'm sure. Yes. But I hear you. No, it is ridiculous. That scene is ridiculous. That you as an executive, this is very good eye. This is one of them shits you could just cut.
Yeah. And then, dude, the DEA being car mechanics, I was like, wow,
whoa, let's do
took apart a car and put it back together quick. And I was like, how?
Can I say this too?
When you drop your car for the mechanic and it's just like the muffler, and they're like, oh, it's going to take a week. These motherfuckers.
They did the entire GTO. What is it?
Ford GT.
Okay, whatever it is, they did it in like 2 hours.
GT40.
But what they called? When the black DEA agent, who was just like,
shout out to Numbers, to anyone who watched Numbers. He was an FBI agent in that show.
Well, good for him. But he tells The Rock, we put the car together. There's nothing here. He's like, keep looking.
I hate when people do that shit. But also when he goes, it's running on all 8. And I was like, what is that? What are we talking?
What are we talking? Right? Turn it over.
It's working. Word.
It's ridiculous, but it's so fun, bro. It's so fun. Any more notes?
Dude, if you're the most wanted person in Rio, how about we lay off on the farmers market for a week? The fruit doesn't need to be that fresh for you if you're the most wanted person in the country.
And like the scene right after that, because she's there shopping for the food, they get back because Vince helps her, right? Oh, where did they get the actual food? Because they start cooking immediately, but they did. Did they just send Roman with the big mouth to go buy food? Anyways, but no, you're right. If you're the most wanted, the scene prior, they got the entire team. So let me go do some shopping. Ridiculous.
They need a scene in Hannibal Lecter where they just go to the farmer's market and he's like,
But Murray, I've never seen Hannibal Lecter, but you're psycho. Just imagining something. Oh my god! Oh my god! The only note I have, and it might be a little serious, but Mumbury, you okay? Stop. So you are a cop in a corrupt place, right? You're not a cop in a corrupt place. Your wife dies being a cop, so you decide to sign on and be a cop in that same city
For justice.
Justice.
No, there's no chance of doing that.
No chance in fucking hell. Do you have anything else? Or are you good?
I'm good, bro.
Yeah. Ladies and
would
gentlemen,
you oil yourself if you're an actor and you were like, if you saw like what The Rock was doing and then you were like, I think I should oil myself. Would you do that?
I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. I mean, I would.
It's not oil, it's lotion.
No, because like if I'm an actor, I want to be the Denzel, the Idris Elba, I think Will Smith probably does oil himself. Have you there's a couple of movies where especially in what's it called? Not and I keep saying 9/11, Independence Day. There's a couple of
Nah, not that. Maybe Ali. I give you though.
Oh yeah. But but like in boxers, actually, I don't know if they put Vaseline and shit, but boxers actually look like that. So I'd give him that. But I think I would.
It's not like The Rock, where The Rock.
The Rock is legitimately putting olive oil and baby oil.
You know that what's it called? Stay Glow in that Eddie Murphy Coming to America. That's what it looks like he's putting on. You know, he sprays in his hair.
Yes, it's insane.